Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are having part 13 of the English Longbows only challenge campaign in Medieval 2 Total War, and our aim is to pretty much take care of France in this episode. So as we noted in the end of the last episode, our time is running short. So practically that means that we need to ramp up our aggression, and of course having enough Longbowmen is proving to be a limiting factor to us. So basically it means that we need to capture as many castles as possible, as soon as possible, because that way we will be able to... By the way, I don't know if these are cannon towers, I guess they are not. So, that way we have the best opportunity to train more of these. And first, in this battle we need to take care of the enemy trebuchets. Let's hope we can do it quickly enough to prevent that wall going down. And apparently we are having some difficulties hitting most of those trebuchet crews. Okay, I guess no use to spend our limited ammunition here. So they are going to knock out at least one more wall. I think I have said it before, but in battles like this I would really appreciate those cannon towers. So I didn't deploy the stakes because the enemy has no cavalry. So basically we inflicted about 2% casualties to the enemies and wasted half of our ammos there. I think that could have gone a bit better.
Walls have fallen. Steel
and another wall section down, since I think this is epic stone wall or huge stone wall or whatever the biggest or best wall is called in Medieval 2. Repairing it will take quite a bit of money, and of course they want to make another hole in it. So perhaps in the next battle, if I want to take down the enemy siege engines before they get to wreck our walls, perhaps I should bring the longbows a bit closer. I guess that's the solution. So, we have incoming. And I think we need to focus on the
St. George save us. The
melee
enemy have
units
the walls.
first.
To our defense, or all will be lost.
And perhaps I need to manually control these guys so that we will have the required ammunition to bring home the battle. And is it really so that only the crossbows are advancing? Because That makes the situation quite a bit tricky. We will receive casualties when we go to optimal range. But we have to do that because otherwise we are not having enough missiles to deal with the rest of the enemy army. It's nice that they are clumped here as they are, because even somewhat worse shots should be able to inflict decent enough damage there. And then it's time to hit the infantry. And I guess we need to wait for a bit.
We're under attack.
And let's actually try to drive. Okay. So that down what's incoming. So let's try to drive these off without spending any additional missiles.
Right, St. George. Our foe has lost control of the city.
Oh. And this is not good at
The
all.
enemy general lies dead. We've sent the base cur to hell. For the moment, the fortune. Only half the enemy force remains.
Light the map.
Well, I guess this will eventually be a victory, but it could have been quite a bit more stylish victory as well.
Behold how the enemy are utterly vanquished.
Okay, well, it was a victory. Not very clean one, but victory nonetheless. And it seems we are having some public order issues in Paris and in Reims. And I think we are having some other issues in Zaragoza as well. And in Valencia too. Okay. So we should have reinforcements going towards Zaragoza, but are they there in time is another question entirely, since the Spanish armies tend to be of rather high quality. I think this battle is lost and I should have dismantled almost everything in Damascus. Well, at the very least, that area should be Christianized at some point. Situation in Cairo is starting to look rather bad.
Yes, Your Highness. Name.
Oh,
At your service. That is cowardly. Fight me.
and the Mongols are coming to Jeddah. Well, perhaps we should be able to keep that under our control. And perhaps we could start gathering a host.
Sire.
To take back the areas we have
My
lost
lord. An order. Sire. My
in
lord.
the north.
Orders.
And from Jerusalem, I think we
Sire.
will take especially the veterans
My lord. Yes. Combining forces.
and some other troops as well, because we want to have a full army stack.
Merging armies, my lord.
And from Gaza, I think we can send some reinforcements to Jerusalem, and in Gaza we just need to retrain the units.
Command me, sire. They'll wish they'd never been born.
And in
sire.
Nicosia,
Yes.
we tried to get enough troops so that we could backstab the Mongols at Adana. And then here,
Name the field of battle.
catapults,
We'll meet you there.
good quality
We will
infantry,
see you dead, heathen.
cavalry, good quality infantry.
My lord. As you wish.
The situation there is looking rather dire. Perhaps I have made bit of an overextension there. And in Paris, just wondering what's causing. Oh,
It is heresy of the highest order.
God's servant.
good riddance, that one.
Yes, Your Highness. God's servant.
Sire.
And in Reims, well, I guess we are doing well enough.
Your will, sire.
Okay, so those should be soon retrained, and I think...
To battle it is then, sire.
Okay,
We shall
so
Sire. My lord.
let's make
Orders. My lord. Sire.
retaliatory
My lord.
move
Yes, sire. Orders. My lord.
against the Holy Roman Empire,
As you wish. We'll make camp here, sire. Yes, sire. My
and
lord.
we are bringing
As
also
you wish.
reinforcements from England, hopefully soon.
Ships ready. Admiring
Oh.
the enemy, eh? You want us gone? Then do something about it. And the grapples and prepare to board.
Okay, that was good. Perhaps we should
A fine day to
reinforce our fleet.
fleet ready, sire. Aye, sire.
And
Orders. My lord. Hail,
I
my
guess
king.
these guys will form the backbone of the army, which we will be sent to the European mainland. And
No more
from
words.
Rennes,
Draw your
I
sword.
think we can
Sire.
draw
By your
3
command,
units,
march to
and
exhaustion,
one
sire.
from
Continuing
Angers,
joining forces
and
with
one from
Yes,
Cayenne,
sire.
and perhaps a couple of from Bordeaux.
By your command, we'll make camp here, sire. Yes,
And were we besieging something? Yeah, Bern.
my king. we shall slaughter them, my lord.
I guess we should win this.
Victory!
And it's another
The settlement has fallen.
castle or
Take
citadel
the
for
spoils
us.
of war.
Which is of course good news.
Orders, my lord.
I'm afraid that this army will be needed soon to defend some of our forts somewhere else. And of course we need a good general to lead a charge against Dijon. Well, I guess this is what we can do.
Name the field of battle.
Oh, and perhaps I should have begun the construction of those improved towers. And we have another heretic there. So Reims will be besieged once again. I think we will send reinforcements from Paris to aid in defense.
The enemy has surrounded us.
And
We are
perhaps the army
besieged.
that's departed from London should actually be a defensive army. So kind of mobile defense force in a similar vein to Comitatenses in the late Roman Empire. So basically they will knock down the walls, at
Honor
least
and
some of them.
glory await England, men.
And since we have so few Longbowmen
Our
here
foes appear to be gaining the upper hand
for
in this
defense,
battle.
I think we need to just defend the city square. Of course there are 3 walls, so the enemy does have some knocking down to do in order to reach us. And thus it might be a good idea to man the towers in here. Oh, and of course, let's not forget the stakes, since they do have cavalry. And I guess the best place to deploy rest of these is behind this second wall. And then perhaps in here. Oh, and our general is somewhere. Oh! He indeed is somewhere, and we need to get him safely to the city center. And I guess this is the safe route here. I think it will take a bit of a time for the enemies to be able to knock down the walls. And let's see if we could get some support from there. And the bodyguard is in position. at least soon. Okay, so one tower there. And let's make sure the gate is closed. Okay, and it seems knocking down one wall was enough for them. Well, not being able to move the camera is rather annoying. So are they now moving the catapults inside the walls? Perhaps I will send this unit to the walls, just so that we can get vision. What's happening?
The walls are no longer ours. The enemy have taken them.
Well, at least they have one unit inside, and the rest seem to be moving. Okay, so dismounted chivalric knights. The catapults are behind the rest of the army. And they are bringing in the battering ram. And they are even damaging our armory. That's pretty rude of them. And is it really so that the majority of the army is waiting outside for the battering ram to come knocking on the next door, or perhaps in the last door as well, and only then they will be bringing in the rest of the troops? And of course, well, they do control those gates, so perhaps that wooden stake trap there is not for nothing.
My lord! The enemy are battering down the gates! To arms, my lord! The enemy's ram has breached the gates!
Okay. And now it seems the rest of the army is coming in. Except the catapults are waiting outside. So sword and Longbowmen are apparently light infantry. And was it actually so that they don't have cavalry? Perhaps that's the case. So now all of those guys are coming to this gate. Hopefully, at least. And they are going to come to the final gate. Because otherwise... Well, to be honest, the battle is boring enough as it is. But if we have to kind of take the initiative to push back the enemy, then in addition to being a rather boring battle, it will get a rather difficult battle as well. Well, perhaps at least we can get one tower shooting at the enemies, or perhaps two. no battering rams there. And it seems our towers are firing. But it seems also we need to encourage the enemy to become a bit more aggressive. And for that we need to send these units out, perhaps. Okay, that unit is moving back and forth. These guys don't know what to do with the battering rams, so I guess it's time for us to... Okay, now there is something moving there. Oh, and let's hope we can get back inside. They managed to capture the gates. So, what's coming in? This way. Another battering ram. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know if that's because of us or despite of what we did, but it's good that the battering ram is coming. And let's actually hope that those stakes are not doing or are not slowing the battering ram down. By the way, this is the, in my opinion, the best part of the Medieval 2 Total War battle music. And now the battering ram is there. Come on. I really need to remember in the next campaign to select the options so that the battle timer will run out if the enemy chooses to be this passive. Oh, and perhaps we could actually hit those crossbowmen there. Okay, our first victory. Nice. And it seems almost all of them were taken prisoners. Good enough. And I think next we will go to take down the catapults, because we need to do that in any case. Perhaps these guys should get some rest before doing that, though. And the tower is inflicting some casualties there. Could be better. Of course, could also be worse. And I guess the second battering ram is there. Are those the fleeing crossbowmen? I guess so. Oh, and then there is of course the risk that the catapults can get a couple of lucky shots on these guys. And I guess there is one unit with ladders there as well. And these guys are taking casualties a bit by bit. So we have... okay, and the catapults are starting to turn. So we have dismounted chivalric knights and something else as well. Well, that went quite a bit off the mark. Let's take down these reforming knights. Oh. And about those lucky shots. Okay. I guess they won't be using those catapults anymore. And do we have something happening in the main theater? Yeah, we have some more enemy infantry marching towards us. Nice. So they shouldn't have any catapults anymore. I guess this is one of the units carrying the battering ram. So as these guys can catch their breath, I think we are going to hit them. So perhaps they will drop the ram. So, instead of this battle being about outmaneuvering the enemy, it's becoming more and more trying to entice the enemy to attack so that they could be outmaneuvered at all. I think this campaign has clearly kind of suffered that it took us so long to take the areas in the Middle East. Because that allowed the enemies to our enemies in Europe to build rather late-game armies, and of course, since longbows are relatively early-game unit, we have lost quite a bit of our advantage here. So, if we charge those, we are starting to run towards the castle, it seems. And are these guys fighting back? At least a little. But perhaps we can take them down. And those guys are eager and ready, but not making a move. And we cannot even charge these guys because the bulk of the unit is somewhere else. Okay, and let's see what's happening now. At least there is some movement in here. And these guys have picked up the battering ram, but apparently that won't be helping them too much. And still no. I'm starting to run out of ideas. Well, I guess we will try to pound that unit to submission. How efficient actually the longbow shots would be from here. Let's try a couple of volleys. Let's take a bit better position. And let's give it another try. Okay, they are firing with upper angles, but casualties are starting to mount, so perhaps we will hit the enemies there as a pastime for us. These look almost like conquistadores. And I guess we will conserve the rest of the ammunition. The next unit in place, and these guys. Let's see if we can outmaneuver these dismounted knights. Okay, they are facing this direction. So perhaps we could hit them in the back. And time to pull back and make another charge. And so much for them. And I think these guys are almost in position. And fire at will. And let's begin to bring other units here as well. Okay, Those hits are quite terrible actually.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Okay, good for us. So, let's see. If we bring this unit outside, will they rush us? Yes, they will. At least they will try. And I guess... well, I should have done this quite a bit earlier. So basically, there should be no fight left in those guys, which means we can move into position to the second wall as soon as the troops are assembled. Of course, these kind of victories can open up new possibilities for advancing. Oh! And where are these guys on the wall? Okay, let's get these into position. And it might be that these are a bit tougher opponents. So 3 units. All full. And I think you guys could break. Oh, there is the general as well. That complicates things. And are these actually fighting or just taking a walk? Perhaps the latter one. Okay, not anymore at least. And it seems now they have decided to bring the battering ram to play.
The battle seems to be swinging in our favor. From such tidings does victory emerge.
And perhaps you guys could
The
start
enemy general has no by St. George. Our
targeting
men have
this.
slain the enemy general. Without him, the enemy army, by the
And
grace of God.
after such a battle, a victory is especially nice. And of course we are going to have another attack. And this time there will be knights. But no siege weapons.
This battle belongs to
For which I have to be thankful. Of course, I think the battle will be relatively difficult.
My lord, the tide of battle seems to have turned against us. We must act and halt this turn of events.
So, I guess, and we don't actually know how good those towers are. Perhaps they can fire a couple of shots. And then, fortunately, there are several avenues from which to come to the city center. Perhaps one set of stakes should be deployed here as well. And you are not allowed to fire, but let's bring these guys to the city center. And you are not allowed to fire. Okay, only arrow towers, but I think we can get at least a couple of shots off. Perhaps we can inflict even some casualties.
The enemy have ladders at the walls. Repel the
And I
attack.
think it's time to
Give them
go.
steel. Our cunning foe has reached our walls.
So,
Their siege-
2%
The enemy
casualties.
are battering down our gates.
And let's hope at least the general and as much as possible of the enemy cavalry goes down.
The walls are no
On the
longer
gate.
ours. The enemy
Okay,
have
at least
taken
some of them are going down. Not perhaps as much as could be hoped for. So those are peasant archers. We should be able to rout them rather quickly. Of course, hitting them takes our attention from the real targets of enemy infantry. And in loose formation they can soak up quite a bit of those arrows. And apparently these Knights of Santiago have managed to bypass our spike traps or stake traps. And they are going somewhere well enough. They can go there. But then we need to hit this other detachment of them. And if we could hit a couple of more volleys before they charge, it would be great. And apparently the peasant archers are moving in to join the fray. And I think we need to start hitting them instead of the knights. And then we have infantry incoming. I could say it finally. And the other unit of the knights. Not good. And you guys should fire. Afraid that... Okay, good. Something going for us. Well, it was 6 and 5 of them got away. So, I'm afraid that the city will be lost.
Only intervention by the Almighty or a military genius can... My lord, our enemy has command of the city.
So perhaps we will be able to take down a bit less than half of the enemy army. And that of course can give us some opportunities to take the city back with the reinforcing units.
Beware! The chance for us to regain control of the city is almost gone.
Yeah.
Lord preserve us. We've been dealt a stinging defeat today. Our forces are well hidden. The trap is set.
I guess the placement of those stakes could have been better.
I am spent, sire. I shall continue to...
And with that we could have had a better chance of winning the battle.
Tomorrow's journey
Then again,
awaits, sire.
the loss of those, was it 4 Longbowmen, was a blow, but nothing too catastrophic. And it seems we should have a new family member in Jerusalem. Nice. I think he can be sent to Cairo.
We shall continue tomorrow, my liege.
The Holy Roman Empire. So Emperor Anselm the Liar has been excommunicated.
Yes. Yes, sire. Moving to crush the enemy.
And there are decent enough defenders. It might be that we need to leave some units to besiege the city and move away with others.
My lord. Sire, yes.
And perhaps Jeddah. Oh, we cannot convert it. That's too bad. And Valencia most definitely needs some repairs.
My lord. Orders. My lord. Sire. Yes, sire.
And perhaps we
Orders.
will gather our troops there.
Sire.
Yes, sire. We can go no
And we
further.
can have
Hail, my
this general to lead them when the time comes. And
Sire, by your command.
My lord. Sire. My lord.
Yes.
oh, let's hope actually that was not a misplacement.
You are not mein Kaiser.
And I guess this army here is ready to besiege Antwerp.
Prepare to assault the walls. We lay siege. The siege goes as planned, sire. Orders. Fleet ready, sire. Sire. My lord.
Yes, sire.
And perhaps we should actually
Taking the
try
troops
to
of
take
ships ready.
Brooks with that army.
Yes. Hail, my king. As you will, my king. To battle.
But I think that will happen in next episode. And let's see if we can train some more Longbowmen here.
Yes, Your Highness.
My lord.
Marching to war.
Oh, they're quite quality troops, and apparently no a bit of cavalry. But I think this is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching.
I salute you.
If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to post comments, give advice, ask questions and so on. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.